They're claiming, obviously, entrapment, that you helped entrap them.
Well, I guess we'll see how that pans out.
But you didn't?
No, I did not.
That's a former FBI informant. You don't often hear from him on camera, responding to claims he entrapped 3 men charged with trying to kidnap the Michigan governor. You might remember this story from the start of COVID. At the time, it seemed bizarre, almost kind of unbelievable. And now we are learning there is a lot more to the story. Joseph Morrison, Pete Muschio, and Paul Bearer are accused of helping 6 others. Prosecutors say the men wanted to kidnap Governor Whitmer of Michigan because of her COVID restrictions in 2020. 3 defendants are all charged with providing materials to support terrorist acts, attempting to commit a felony as an associate or member of a gang, as well as gun charges. They claim the informant pressured them to act, but a judge previously ruled he found no bias for entrapment. Therefore, jury selection for the trial started today. Robby Soave, award-winning journalist, senior editor at Reason, joins us now. Is there any evidence that these guys came to the FBI informant with this plot to kidnap the governor, or did the FBI informant come to them?
So how it worked was an individual who's not part of the FBI was in a Facebook group and saw chatter, some kind of talk about not liking Whitmer and, oh, what if we kidnapped her, that kind of thing. But it wasn't really serious. That person went to law enforcement and then got hooked up with the FBI and was encouraged, and he became this asset for the FBI, was encouraged to kind of help them plan and strategize and move it into an actual thing. And that person was paid $54,000 by the FBI to do so.
So he had every reason to push these guys along to get more serious about this plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer.
He was being explicitly paid by the FBI to do just that. The surveillance of her home, of her property, that was probably the most concerning aspect of all this, because they actually never came close to really kidnapping her, but they did do some surveillance. That was set up by this informant. His name's Big Dan in the filings, who was being paid by the FBI. So at every stage of this supposed plot, it was known to law enforcement, and really, frankly, to be honest, it's being organized to a large degree by the FBI for the purposes of then pressing charges against the other individuals.
All right, so this is the former FBI informant who's been called to testify by the defense. Take a listen.
What about this double agent stuff?
Again, that's not true. And like I said, I'm not anti-government on this. I don't know why that's being discussed, because there's a recording for everything that's happened, and the recordings will show themselves for what they are.
Are these defendants going to be able to play these recordings and say, we would not have done this but for the FBI informant paid $54,000?
They are, and we'll have to see if how that argument fares in court. It might not fare well in court. There's tremendous difficulty in proving entrapment, because look, at the end of the day, they did attempt to go through with this. They were lured there, I think, under false pretenses, but they had the desire to commit this crime. So it might not. They don't end up being the most sympathetic group of individuals, but the important thing that people really have to understand is this was never going to be pulled off. At all stages, she was never in any danger, the governor. At all stages, law enforcement knew exactly what's happening. They knew what was happening before it was even a thing. Before it was being actively planned, they knew about it.
Right.
So I don't know why you have to throw the book at these people. They never put her in harm.
Well, on the other hand, even if you don't put somebody in harm, if you're willing to and you plan and plot to do this, even if you're being surveilled by law enforcement, you could say they were giving these guys the benefit of the doubt and waiting until they got to a point that really proved that they were going to do it before arresting them.
Yeah, there's more detail. No, I totally agree with you, but there's some more details. So the FBI agent who was handling this informant, so that person, that agent, was trying to kind of start his own sort of security consulting company, where it would have been really good for his, financial, non-even FBI purposes to have this really big bust under his belt for advertising purposes. So that's an additional wrinkle.
It brings us real quickly to the last question. So often in these federal cases, you see the press release, that splashy headline, plot to kidnap governor, and there's none of the evidence released. And the U.S. attorney always hides behind, we can't comment on a pending case or investigation. What single piece of evidence are you going to be most interested in seeing when the trial starts?
I'm going to want to see the FBI questioned about all the agents they let go in this investigation. That guy, there's another person they fired. So like the FBI itself is the agents are barely involved. They're not going to testify. They all got fired. So that shows you how incompetently this was handled. I want them to answer for it. It seems they organized the plot themselves. I know it's different when law enforcement does it. I understand what they're trying to do, but maybe that was not necessary.
You make a great point. When fired FBI agents have to testify about what they did in a criminal case to get fired, and the people are still on trial, that's unusual. Robby, keep up the great reporting. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Absolutely.
you. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.